bana ba phathazana ka kereke ba robalana ba sunana ba etsang. Hey beautiful people, Bentley here. I'm here with another segment of story time. So there was this time when I was in church, right? When I attended church, and like right? Yeah, I was there. Because of my aunt, right? She passed on. We were staying with her, and she was invited to that church, and we tagged along, right? She was like, oh, but you can sing very nicely, so let's just go to church together. And my little sister Joy also went, right? Fine. So now I'm going to church and staying with my aunt. She was not like a very privileged person. Nazama okilabon na ruta ECD at this other school, but she was volunteering. Trusting, yeah. So now her, okay, as we were attending church, as a girl, you start seeing, as a person, you would start seeing how people act there and how they treat each other and how they treat you, and you would also, like, basically how they treat you would just protrude from you to them, right? So now I was in my years, like I was attending youth classes at church. I was also a choir member, and we would sing and praise the Lord and whatnot, right? Like every other church, everything was fine. Until now, this faithful day, well, let me not even start it there. It's a Sunday. I'm wearing a dress, still a child, basically, even though I can say in youth classes, but I was like fresh from high school. So I'm wearing this dress, this denim dress. It was a boob tube dress. It was denim. It was quite long. And yeah, it was a tight boob tube denim dress. Let me just put it like that. So now I get to church, right? The dress was very cute. I think I'll find a picture where I was wearing that dress, and I will show you what I'm talking about, the dress that I'm talking about. Fine. So upon me arriving at church, right, I get there, and to my surprise, one of the elders' daughter is wearing the same dress that I'm wearing, but she's like, I think, 45 years younger than I was. So fine, it's not a problem. We there, but we like looking at each other like, ooh, we got the same dress on and whatnot. But then here, there was not a problem until the following week. That was a Sunday, right? Until the following week, when I was at attending the youth class, right? I get to the youth class, and we'd usually just sit in a little dome shape, and we would talk about the struggles that we get as youth, that we go through as the youth. We'd also talk about like anything and everything youth related, and not only church things, but also things that happen at home. Fine. So I get there, and upon sitting down, the first topic is like, oh, we're going to talk about dress code. Okay. I listen, and everyone looks at me, including that lady who is like an elder Greeking, right? And they're all looking at me. And I'm like, okay. And then she says to me, yeah, Paulina, I think you're dressing inappropriately to church. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm very sorry, but what did you see that was inappropriate that I wore that you really don't want me wearing anymore so that I can stop? And she goes, you see that denim dress that you had on last week, Sunday? And I was like, yeah, oh, guys, sorry. And I was, yes. And she says, that's inappropriate. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, woman, your child was wearing the very same dress that I was wearing. Kapa, where's Halang Hey, Kapa, where's Halang And then she goes on to say, yeah, it was very inappropriate, and I think you shouldn't like wear it anymore to church. And I was like, okay, yeah, with all due respect, your daughter, I'll name her daughter Lisa. Okay, your daughter Lisa was wearing the very same dress to church. The same day that I wore that dress, she was wearing the very same dress. And then she goes on to say, don't compare yourself to Lisa. Lisa is a very young lady. She's very, very small. She's smaller than you. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, am I hearing this right? Should you even say that? I mean, she's your daughter. She should be the one. Yeah, like you should give her the rules that you want us to follow, right? I shouldn't be standing here like, I shouldn't be saying, no, but your daughter was wearing the same thing, and you coming to tell me that, no, she's younger. So does age matter? Does age matter, or is the protocol the only thing that matters in this sense? Why did you buy your daughter that dress if you think me wearing it is inappropriate? And then now, Hunz again, and said, go to my husband about it. I'm like, kapa ina ntshwanela holo bathong e sa tshwanele ngwana hae. Kapa ho no etsahalang. But it was very awkward. It was very awkward. And I just realized like a change in the way batho se ba acting around me. Oh, I understand. Fine. Including her daughter. Her daughter Nabina Kwaerelero, right? Fine. And then it was quiet practice. We all went. Fine. We get there and Lisa is there. Fine. We sing. People tell me, oh, you've got such a lovely voice. Wow. Why don't you lead the song, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm super excited. Oh my God. I was super excited. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, I will. And then she goes on to say, no, before that. And then we sing Homonatimo and everything. Like I'm just, Mariah carrying the whole choir. Girl, if I tell you, the next song, she goes on to say, that lady, that elder, right? She goes on to say, Kinana obinele klase. How bine pinena. I was like, oh, okay. I'm bubbly, I'm happy, I'm excited. I'm in a choir and people are just happy that Kibina the way Kibina Kating, I'm super excited. And she goes on to say, no, binela class. I'm like, okay. Okay, fine, it's not a problem. Give me that last hair. And then one high habin, like she tell her, so I like was picking up on a whole lot of things. Say long hore, man, I was getting backlash from her for doing those things, but her daughter was not. And I was like, but remember, I'm a kid and I can't necessarily just speak out. Well, I understand to that perimeter. But anyways, I noticed signs. And then at the end of the day, we go home, right? Fine. We go to church on Sunday. The following week, get another choir practice. Man, she says to me, it's some choir practice, youth choir. Listen to me, youth choir. Yes, we did even have it like a youth choir. Not only youth choir, only like choir about me and whatnot, and whatnot. You know how it goes at church. But it was that day. It was Zatzila youth. Yes, in Zatzila youth. And now we're sitting around the table. We're sitting in our little dome, and then she goes on to say, "What's about King Polina? They really halona." And you weren't there. Now, let me tell you how so now renale koloi e leng hore e lata batho be leng hore like habana dikoloi habana eng wa bona ke ya bona ene kenela di kana baby tsam like ka bo di femeng wa bona we need to stain or something, but whoever welcome you know I get a stain. Stain mamang in numbers. So plus stain mom. And it was really hard getting there. Elohore, you need to be there like 3 times a week and so forth, because a lot of people don't have money to attend church 3 times a week. So the church had a van, right? That van in a Hanwa game, I'll call this one Peter, right? Peter. So Peter, whatever. So Peter, he'd fetch people from their houses. If it's choir, he's the transport guy. If it's youth days, he fetches people. If it's like Sundays, he fetches people, and he also returned them to their homes, right? Fine. So I was also one of the people fine. And to my surprise, Peter Onajula like a few streets from high. So Harasheva me going to town. That's buang hore nna ke nekisa nekilisiko. Yes, nekisa ya kreke. Nekisa ya kana ke engwe. Nekisa ya youth club. Fine that day. But na is a hake feta kere. It was so early. It was so early in the day. Youth baby say youth income. Youth day ya wena ene kala ka bo ma 5. No, ka bo 4. Ne kala ka bo 4. If I like a 6, in 2 hours. Fine. So now ha ke feta ke tswa high. Ke hlobola, ke hlapa, ke tswa ke re. Ha ke re ke a di taxi ke lo palama taxi ke a toropong tsatsi leo. Ha ke re ke kopana le Lisa. Ke bona Lisa a eme ka ntle le Peter. Eme ka ntle le Peter modimo. Baby mo and bana ba jola, right? Bana ba jola. And bana le mabitso a tshwanang handle ne. Peter and Lisa is just me giving you like fun names because I can't like put people's names out there. But if you know, you know. If you know, you know. So whenever Jola and everything, and apparently like Habo Lisa, ne? The elder, which is like her mom and dad, both her parents, in like elders at church. So now bana le ngwana mong eba mong kileng and then like maybe wo in le takayaka ne, but una sotla ile nyana tjena man nkila bona ona sotle yena e ka like o tswa maplasing like the trusting tsa haufi le welcome. So a batla tlo dula le bona ha dula le bona mo well she would say hey now I'm not treated well mo ke dulang teng, but she wouldn't say in detail and there was really nothing we could do because at that church you have to be mamang kapa you have to be ngwana wa mamang. So now my aunt didn't see anyone, she was just part of the congregation. She wasn't like an elder, she was just a member of the congregation, and that's all. So now people who were getting like privileges, all the kids who were getting privileges in ba thola like their parents ki baholo ba kreke kapa, do you get in that sense? But it was nice. And then they asked me yo no nerile halona and we didn't find you, like where are you, we don't like mekgwa ya hao ya bo stratmate, we don't condone this at this church. And I was like, what? Not to her, don't get me wrong, not to her. I was very obedient, not to her. I didn't say that to her. And in my mind I'm like, what do you mean bo stratmate? Number one, ha ke tsamaile anyone wa kerekeng mo eleng hore like anyone wa kerekeng a ka re ho thilwe. Number two, mo ne ke dula teng ne ke sena mogotsi. Number three, mo nna ne ke jola teng toropong ho ne ho sena like sign ka ba mang a tsebang mang wa etsahalang, like ne ke sa jolele group ya bana ba kerekeng, bona bana ba jolana ka kerekeng, bana ba phathazana ka kerekeng, ba robalana ba sunana ba etsang. I was not part of that. Why understand? Bona bana ba etsa all those things because enele bana ba baholo and they would choose each other regarding that, right? Like hierarchy from monana to kwana and tate. So now ne ke le ka topo ngana ko e usually la ka topo. Yes, that's le ne ke ya topo. Hey, I can't tell me how straight mate he wa etsalang ke ena mmeo. Wa tsa ke le ka sulafallwa ka tsela e nngwe e makatsang ha ke nahana hore wa ha ngwana e o itseng o monyane ho nna ntho tsa di etsang. And I can't even tell her, guys, I can't even say hore ngwana ha ke sefebe. I can't. I can't say that to Miamoholo. Do you get? I really can't. And I didn't. So as time goes on, I did attend church, right? But then I just ended up feeling like very lonely because like whatever I do, I'd be picked on. I couldn't even like sing anymore. That's because I was told to like why understand? So man, and I just felt, you know what, I'm gonna stop going to church because people at church don't like me. I don't feel safe at church. I don't feel welcome. I don't feel like I'm there to pray. I don't feel like people who are there, they're also there to pray anymore because they're forever bickering towards me. Well, understand? Chihuahua methods. Yeah, when. Okay, let me put it like this. If elo o motho eno go no kena kereke le gona ke o tseba le wena o ntseba, ke kopa o comment down below and tell me hore na nna hantlentle ne ke entseng. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly hore ntho ke buanye ke bua ka tlasa mabapi le eng, and le wena you know hore nna ne ke treatwa jwang. But potso nka o botsang yona ke hore na wena, tell me now in my comment section hore na what is it that I did wrong? Why were y'all always picking on me at church? Nogal. This Lisa person, like, and everything, in church or whatever. Like, next like, I would just feel like, not how she's better than me, but like we are always like compared to each other, which is why I was like, you know what, let me not mix myself with these people because I obviously don't belong. Fine. So I just stopped going to church. How do I put it? Simply because I just felt like I didn't belong, and I didn't believe that God wanted me to be in church. Then I also felt like God didn't care about me. I felt like God didn't exist. It was just you know, just to get us in a box and just criticize us when we are at their church. Do you get? So mentally and psychologically, Meo Wilan Robber for a very, very long time. I went through life thinking Hore God does not exist. I went through life thinking Hore there's no use in attending church. And like I'm saying, the main thing, Hore, God doesn't love me, God doesn't listen to me, God only sees them. Why, I understand. And then it might be a small thing to those who've experienced worse, but because I was being judged left, right, and center. Left, right, and center. Instead of us sitting down and saying, instead of her sitting us down and saying, hey, look, this is the protocol, yeah, wa understand. Okay, the clause. Some starts like this is the dress code, this is that. Wa understand. She just picked on me without telling me, hore, no, but this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Guys, I'm talking about kreke ya pholoso. I'm talking about kreke e leng hore ho aparwa marukgwe, ba ikenya, ba jola, ba feba kerekeng, ba etsa all these nasty things. But to my surprise, hona ho sa bue anything ka anyone. And the people be long hore like they were in our youth group, ne? I remember most very well because there was these ones who'd actually look down when those bad things were being said to my face. And there are also those who were just like you know, and those ones who would be like who would be like very you know, nonchalant about the things since the bua like oh well, they were the very same people all those bad things, but they were not picked on. So for me, the reason that I was being judged instead of being showed the way, the truth, and the whatever, in the comment section, I understand, I was being judged and I was shown, hore, you are a nobody, you are nothing. I understand. Hence, like right? And ever since then, I did go to other churches, but I didn't like register to be a member of those churches. if that makes sense. I didn't register because I just felt like I don't want to have like a place in church I'm gonna be judged again. I will just visit, appear there as a guest, and go move on to the next church, and that's what I would do. So ilan roba holo, like I'm saying, ilan roba holo too, because I just, to me, in a lot of feel like God doesn't exist. In a lot of God doesn't exist. Right? And I'm sorry. And even like no chanana, let me put it like that. Now I'm only realizing not now, but it's been a couple of years now that I realized God is alive. God is a great, how should I even say it? Like, God is alive. God is alive. God is for all of us. No one is greater than him. God is the Alpha, the Omega. And I also learned, I don't need to be in a church in order for me to be spiritual, right? In my house, we are not, what do you call this? We don't fall under any church, but my child, like Didi, yeah, she was like, oh, but mommy, why don't we go to church? And I told her a story, and I also explained to her, it's my story, not hers. She can attend church. She would go with her friends, and she would go to church with some of her friends. They would come and fetch her and whatnot. But I don't know, maybe she stopped going because of the way that I am towards church. But she also knows how she can go. Right? We do pray, Katlu. We do pray to God, Katlu. We do not pray to these fiction characters. Say personally, like they were just created to basically give us like words of wisdom in the Bible, and I don't know if you understand that. But anyway, that's one of the reasons. No, like that's the only reason why I stopped going to church. Yeah. Ke tlhalositswe ke batho ba ne tlameileng gore bang aha ke bona bang tlhalositseng kerekeng. And I want to tell you one thing, ke hore hona jwale tjena my faith is stronger than when I was a young girl. My faith is stronger le ha ke sa ye kerekeng. I believe hore batho ba ba rata hore no, we go to church ho tsoseletsa tumelo ya hao ya ka ha hloko tsoseletswa. I know who God is. I know God. I've seen his work. Even though sometimes I do question his existence, because you know how it is, like how fitamatateng, you're just like, God, are you even there? Like, are you even there? Where are you? How could you allow for this to happen to me, God? Like, am I even your child? What's my purpose? Why did you bring me here? Or get to understand? And on top of that, you give me kids, and now I don't know what to tell them about you, Jade. Like, those are things that I would sometimes ask myself when I'm praying, and also know that I would ask God. And to my surprise, I've been praying and things have been happening in my favor. Things have been happening in my favor, and I'm super excited and grateful. My ancestors are not demons. They are my angels. Ke bua le bona, ke a phahla, ke bua le bona, ke kopa gore ba fetise dithapelo tsa ka, ba di fetisetse ho Ntate Modimo. Like we know hore in everything and everywhere there's a hierarchy, right? There are angels between us and God. There are angels, and my ancestors are part of those angels, and I love them very much. I'm very grateful. Barobodi, Lebataung. And God.
Oh no. Oh no. Whoa. Yeah. I've been down so long it looked like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing